miracle. I'm feeling perfected.
This video came from YouTube.
It's trending on Twitter.
Is it not on the news?
The Mandela Effect.
Wait, what?
It's the Mandela Effect.
The lion will lie down with the lamb.
Come on! I'm starting the show
I'm so
here. We're
excited.
rolling.
And I just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. Woo, yeah, woo. You got me burned.
Welcome to Unbiased and on the Fence. You can hear we are already having a great time here.
Yes.
Singing and dancing. My panel. How are you guys doing today?
Yeah, I won't be able to see the the chat, so you guys will have to film
the Scott.
The
You're
Scott.
right. He's the
you
one
know the
chatting
Scott. I
right
won't be
now.
able to see Scott. Scott,
Do you have
Scott on your mind?
Awesomeness.
Chat.
Okay, I will pop over the fence for you guys every now and then. But
yeah.
help my stream.
That's all we can see of Shane.
Yeah.
Just the top of his face.
Yes.
So it's like he's a little man like this.
On Tim the Toolman Taylor, what was that show? Tool Time, right?
What was his name? The guy on the across the fence.
Oh, I don't know. I never did.
Oh, it's like on the tip of my tongue. Oh.
The actor's name or the
character that was on the other side of the fence that you only saw. You only saw this in his hat.
And he always had the best advice.
Somebody must know. Yeah. Apparently it was Shane.
Yeah. That was Shane's brain.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, I definitely, we've been having problems getting this whole thing going, and we're already...
Can everybody see, like, both of us, or are people on now, or?
Yeah, we're all here.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Good.
Awesome.
So what's the topic for today?
You know what? I never got that far, to be honest with you. I was just trying to get it connected.
No, I
yeah.
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 Did I wake you up, Shane?
No, I make sure I got it where you can't wake
Do you
me up.
sleep, Shane, actually? Do you sleep?
I do sleep. Like, I went to bed at like 6 this morning, got up around
I'm like,
noon.
I said, you sent me an email at like 5 something. Does that mean
Yeah, that was right before bed, actually, when I sent it.
You mean that 15-minute nap you had?
Yeah, I actually had a flyer I had to make for a customer, so I was like, oh, I actually got a little bit of work to do here. So
right.
I did that, and welcome everyone in the chat. Welcome Mary Quinn, Hey Angel, Magic Sister, my neighbor, Seeker of Truth, Deb, Benjamin Frost, My Skies 5D, Ewa.
Hey, loves that one.
Eric.
Ewa
is there.
Raleigh's in the house. Colton. Geesefola. I hope that's right.
Yeah, do everybody give a shout out of where they're from. I'd love to see, like,
yeah, you
it's
guys
been so amazing. People like messaging from Australia and just all over the place.
That's awesome, isn't it?
It's so cool. So where's everybody from?
Probably not many people from Australia, unless they've got a sleep schedule like mine.
Unless you're like
then they're about to go to bed, probably.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
So, okay, so yeah, that definitely sped up my computer doing that, so it's toggling between 100% and like 90, so, okay, that'll work. Who did I not mention? Vanessa, Kevin T, of course, Scott, Light Warrior Craig is in the house.
There he is. See, I told you he was here.
Yeah, Scott's in the Scott. Scotting away.
Scott's in the Scott. He invented Scott. Scott invented Scott.
Heckamicron, Amari.
Tammy was out doing errands. She says to say hello to everybody.
Hi, Tammy.
I'm not sure if Angela's going to be able to pop in today.
Holly
she might
G.
be working.
Terry, Polar Bear, the Reader. Been waiting patiently. And
awesome.
Bob, he might have gave up. But we're never going to get on anyway.
I think we gave up. Bob.
Prisma music.
Because that boy's got too many wrenches.
Oh, okay, so we're rolling.
Awesome. Awesome. So how's everybody doing with the energy that's going through? Like, I know, like, yesterday was crazy. I don't know if that was an equinox thing, but my head felt like it was just gonna pop. It was crazy.
Oh,
and somebody
yeah.
mentioned their knees shaking. Was that you, Shane? Like your legs shaking a little bit?
No.
No, okay, I don't know. Somebody mentioned that, and I noticed that last night. I'm like totally seated, normal, and I'm like my legs were vibrating. It was really strange, really strange.
My daughter was doing that next to me the other. She was sitting next to me, and I'm like, "Do you feel that?" I'm like, "I think there's an earthquake." And she goes, "Oh no, I'm moving my leg." And I'm like, "Oh, why are you doing that?" It felt just like an earthquake. Welcome, Ron, Jen, Terry, Dave, Maureen Moreau, and there was one more person, William. Aaron Klein's in the house. Jen J. and
Hi, Aaron.
Amber. I think I got
Hi,
everybody.
Amber.
Almost everybody. Ron
It's a
Webb.
beautiful day here, crazy beautiful day, and like just blue sky.
Oh,
No
be careful.
chemtrails yet.
Wait, are you up in
Ontario, the wilds. of
Oh, okay.
Ontario.
Yeah, so it's okay to mention you're having good weather as long as you're up there near Josee, because
Yeah.
she'll start cussing you out in French if you start bragging about the weather. And it's
They know.
See, I
don't
French.
do
I'm
that
Canadian. I have to
anymore.
take French in school. So I actually understand some of it.
It's cute though. It's not really cuss words, you guys. Just so you know.
No,
it's
that
stuff
was
like
church a cuss word, Josee.
Right. It is
That
in
would have to mean
French.
church, and that's like the worst. One of the worst words you can say.
I love
Oh.
it. It's cute. Oh, she's silent. Don't feel guilty.
Oh,
It's okay.
I love French words.
Oh,
Give me some
it's
new
just
ones.
You guys talk too much. I can't even place a word, so
Oh, okay. It's your turn for
She can't get a word in edgewise, huh?
It's my
Mountain
fault.
cat.
So I just listen, but that's what I do all the time. I just listen, man, and that's fine. You know, because
Okay,
that's
okay,
my
great.
job.
Anyway, so Michelle, I'm just playing.
No. Oh, that'll get everybody's attention.
I might start cussing in
I can
French.
do that too.
That's what we're doing. We're trying to hear that sexy cussing, Josee. That's what it is. That's a beautiful.
Oh, mais maudite merde.
So what's the weather like where you are, Josee?
It's there's been so much chemtrailing last 2-3 days. Yesterday was insane. I was sitting here and it was one after the other. And today it's a little cloudy, of course, and but I think it's clearing up a little. But they're calling for really cold weather tonight, so I let the fire down. I'm in trouble. I got to restart the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I understand that. Welcome to Dennis.
Do you really?
Oh yeah, yeah. I lived in Colorado in a.
I've
in a log
been up in
cabin.
Ottawa way. Yeah. Yeah.
I lived in Colorado, and in a cabin, so I know exactly what it's like to get up and go pee.
that would be
and your
cool.
kneecaps are going up and down in their sockets because you're so cold while you're.
Oh. I hate being cold.
I had no idea that could happen. Like my kneecaps are going up and down in their sockets from being so cold. It's crazy.
That cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Colorado.
Yeah, we got that a couple nights in the winter.
Yeah, in the mountains. It was. I can imagine. I
It
didn't
must
stay
have been
there very long.
beautiful.
In the daytime.
Mm-hmm. Dark at night.
At night it was like
When
hell
you're trying to
freezing over.
sleep.
Yeah. How long did you live there for?
For a summer. And it was actually the
okay.
summer, but the nights
Oh,
were
it
just
wasn't
freezing.
in the summer.
Yeah, it was in the summer and it was freezing. It was. All right, you guys.
In the summer? Do you know what it's like in Ottawa?
All right. It was cold, I'm telling you. It was like, it
I
was,
know, Shane.
it was
That's
freezing.
not cold.
I was
Colorado in the summer.
I mean winter.
yeah.
Did I say summer? It was the winter.
Yeah, you
in,
did say summer. Now you're changing the story.
well, it was winter in Australia at the time. Let's just put it that way.
You're already buried yourself on the story.
But yeah, it's so yeah, the weather here has been really nice too, and I've lived in St. Louis and we've had some cold winters, so I know what it's like. But there I had a furnace. In Colorado I didn't. There was nothing. It was like we had maybe a space heater or something. So
Yeah, I know. Well, it gets damp too, especially when you're out in the bush or near the, it gets damp. So the dampness gets into you. That's what makes you so cold.
I'm finding it, you know what, like the last few years, it's just so erratic. Like there's not a consistency with the temperature. Like it's really cold, like it's super cold, or then you go to like way above average temperatures, and it's more of this like jumping back and forth than keeping a more even keel. Josee, we have pretty separate seasons, as far as winter, spring, summer, and fall. Yeah. And I find they're getting more erratic, where it's like, you're getting spring and winter, and sometimes it's been really crazy, Mm-hmm. Yeah. And super cold. Like when it gets cold, it gets really cold.
Definitely. Yeah, we just went green. Awesome.
What's green? What does that mean?
Green is go.
It means we're aliens.
Good.
Oh, okay.
It's all about nature. The stream is what nature put on us. Canada is really a beautiful country, though.
I love it.
Yeah, and I made a joke up there, and I'm so sorry. I wasn't really clowning. It was like this comedian from St. Louis made this joke. She's like, she said,
the attic. I have forgotten.
Oh. No, but I left out the funniest part about it is she was like, oh, I forgot about all this cool stuff up here. It's like, that's how she said it. It wasn't like a bad thing. It was like, treasures in the attic, sort of a.
That you forgot about.
Yeah, so it wasn't like a bad thing. So I'm totally botched.
I did get it. I really did get it. But it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the viewers told me about this show. If anybody has Netflix, you can check it out. It's called Expedition Happiness, where they modify this bus and they travel across Canada and then down the west coast of the United States into Mexico, and it's just all about them just taking on the road with their dog, and they run into plenty of problems, but she makes music, so they play the music during the movie, and it goes with the scenery, and they even got a drone, and so they get all these really professional shots of the whole trip. So it's really awesome. It's awesome.
So you enjoy the adventure with them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. What is it called again?
It's called Expedition Happiness.
I'll have to look that up.
It is. It's worth watching. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
But they go all the way to Alaska, but it's really beautiful up there. They stop at some really nice places in Canada, and I even built a website for somebody that had a bear hunting lodge up there. I did that years ago.
Yeah.
But it was a really beautiful country up there. So yeah, I definitely. Not clowning Canada. It's beautiful up there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm a big.
You should climb up here, Shane.
Up into the attic. I've been up there once. I went up when I went to Buffalo. This was before 9/11 happened or whatever. So I don't know what it's like now, but they will let you go across to the other side of Niagara Falls, and I got to see the weird looking signs on the gas station, like, what? How much is that? And whatever, the Canadian money.
But that's how we feel.
Yeah, I know.
That's how we feel when we go across. And they're like, and everything's different. It's weird, It's like. That feels like a timeline shift.
And the speed
limits. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What, the speed of what?
Or speed limits are different.
Oh, it's all clicks up there.
Go 100. You guys only get 60.
I finally get to use those other numbers on my speedometer, those little ones that I'm always like.
That's the attic.
Right.
Driving in the attic. You've got the little numbers on it. And we've got the reverse, right? Your numbers are on the small side, and our numbers are on the big side. Right?
Oh, really? Okay, I figured it was like that.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I stole cars for 6 years.
Oh, I thought it glitched and it totally sounded like you just said you stole cars for 6 years. So people in the audience know she wasn't a car heister or anything. It just glitched.
Maybe I was. You never know with me. Yeah.
I would steal Porsches and then resell them on the black market. It was pretty fun. I got away with it.
Those were the days. Those were the days. I had a cool leather jacket, you know. And, yeah.
I could be in and out in like 20 seconds.
Yeah, and 60. I was It was Angelina Jolie, and you know, I got Nick Cage with me.
Oh yeah. What was that?
Yeah, you remember that one?
That
Gone. What one was that?
Gone in 60 seconds or something?
6 seconds.
6
seconds. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
60 would be a long
I did
time. You'd be
6
surrounded by
seconds
cops by then. So, what did you do in your car stealing days there, Jose?
Me?
She's like, how did you know?
Oh my.
Yeah. It's in the eyes.
You know, I was pretty boring kid and teenager, and I got married at 18 and had my first kid.
18, yeah. At 18 too?
A month short of 18, yeah.
I did 21.
I was 19.
So I started.
Right between.
You too? Yeah. Wow. Maybe this is a light worker thing.
Maybe
so.
I don't know.
We have kids early.
Yeah, so we can get rid of them early and do our work.
I know, mine are all grown
like
now.
this.
I know.
That's why everybody's like,
mine are
you're a
gone.
grandpa
I'm
already?
a grandma now.
Yeah.
I started early.
Yeah, I know. I say my oldest is 26. What?
My oldest will be 34.
That's
Hey,
awesome.
without saying
Are you
your
grandma?
age, without saying your age, Michelle, just to let you guys know, I'm actually younger than Michelle. Okay, so let's leave it at that.
That's okay. I don't care.
You'll pull me down, though.
Yeah, I'm 50. 50 years old. I can stretch.
I wish it
That's
was
the Molly
coming in
Shannon
clear.
kit
It's
from SNL. What's that?
It's actually pixelated a little bit, so it's not coming in really clear. But
oh, good.
If people saw the other video, they could see, you know, that you show your age well, or you hold it well, or whatever.
Oh, right. Not my kicks and my stretches. I'm 50. I'm 47. Okay, 47.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said to you, divorce works wonders for the skin.
And not having any grandkids, right?
No, that's how too.
That's when all my gray hair started popping out.
I have 11 grandchildren.
Wow.
I don't look too bad, I think.
Wow.
I'll be 54, so.
Wow,
that's
nice.
funny. So 2 years ago on April Fool's Day, I was at work. My oldest daughter, she sends me this text message. Mom, I gotta talk to you. I'm pregnant. Of course, I'm so oblivious. I don't even know what day of the week it is. Never mind that it's April 1st. So I'm like, oh, at work running around, you know, I'm gonna be a grandmother. I'm gonna be a grandmother. I got her on the phone. She's like, Mom, stop. It's April Fool's. I'm like, you better never do that again. That's a one strike only. You're not allowed to do that a second time. You nearly killed me.
She was expecting a little bit different response. Huh?
Yeah. And I'm like, it's okay. I'll help you. Mom. She's like, at least I know how great you'll be when it happens. I'm like, it's not happening.
No, she wasn't. It was April Fool's. Oh,
it was
26.
April Fool's, yeah.
26 or.
How old was your daughter when she said that?
It was just 2 years ago, so she was 24. She was 24.
Oh.
Yeah.
My daughter did to me. She came to me, Mom, I'm pregnant.
I think they all do.
She was really pregnant, and she was 15.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's all good. She's a great mom. She's so responsible. That was 7 years ago.
Can't imagine. I can't imagine. You know, I think it was hard at 20. You know, just turned 21. It was hard, and I looked so young then too. So I probably looked like I was 15. And you know, just the way people look at you and treat you, it was really hard sometimes. Yeah. Really hard.
My wife went through that with our first because she was 18 at the time, so she was in there with like all these, you know, unmarried. She was married, of course, but she was in there with all these you know, girls her age that weren't married and that, you know, their parents were with them. And we're really the only like couple because she went into like a younger, you know,
Right.
you know, just because of her age, they automatically,
Yeah.
even though she was above 18, over 18, she still went in with the, you know, the younger people. So yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, how people look at you. And
Yeah.
we
Like,
actually felt like the odd ones out because we were like an actual married couple that were, you
yeah.
know.
Yeah. And you guys are still married. That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
a long time. So yeah, you
Wow.
can actually, let's see, if she was started at 15 and if her, did she have a daughter or a son?
Who?
My daughter,
Yeah.
Yeah, yours.
she had a son.
Oh.
She has 2 sons now.
Oh, okay. I was just
How old
thinking
is she now?
that was 7 years ago, so she's 22.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
She just turned 25.
Oh,
Oh, wow. So they're older themselves now. God, time flies, eh?
yeah.
Yeah. It's actually my second daughter. It's her 18th birthday today. 18 today. So.
So even if she has, she could actually be a grandparent in her mid-30s or something, and it not be like,
Yeah, she could be, but it's, you know, when it's a boy, it's less likely.
well, less likely to know about it. But
Yes,
Take
exactly. But you won't have
responsibility.
to deal with
Yeah.
it the same way.
right.
If for us, she still lived with us, of course, you know.
Yeah.
So it was the whole pregnancy, but she moved out with her boyfriend, and she finished high school, and she went to college. She paid her way to college.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
She worked, yeah, and now she has a full-time job, 2 kids,
I've seen it happen
her own
before.
car.
It's like sometimes it's exactly what a young person needs to kick them into gear and makes them
Yeah.
maybe even grow up too fast sometimes. But yeah,
Yeah. But she must be so strong, though.
yeah.
Wow, she must be really
Yeah.
strong. And she must be, you know, she was probably born wiser for her age, too, because that's a lot to take on. So
Yeah.
definitely an older soul there, Josee.
Yeah, she's an angel.
Oh, that's amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Do a lot of your grandkids still live close to you, or are they spread
We only
out?
have 3 close by. The other ones are scattered. There's a few there's 3 in Los Angeles, and the rest is in Vancouver, BC.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Do you get out
I
there
think
to
I'm
visit?
down. We went before, but it's a long way
Yeah.
because we drive. So
Yeah.
it takes a few days to get there.
Yeah.
Everything's
long
far
way.
apart up there, isn't it? That's how it was when I lived in Atlanta. It was like trees and then like little splotches of, you know, civilization and like all these tall
Yeah,
pine trees
a
everywhere
little
else.
village with no store, no gas station. Oh man, gotta wait for the next one.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
It's,
But it is so
we
beautiful.
drove across country a few times, but remember when we went through the prairies, there's nothing. It's bare, right? It's just fields and no trees, nothing. And there was a big stretch with no gas station, nothing. And couldn't even find a tree to go pee behind. It was like,
Wow.
and you could see the cars coming from far away. So, well, I gotta go. So
I don't know if I could live in a place that didn't have trees. I just love trees
Well,
so
they-
much. Yeah.
I know.
I don't know to not have trees around. I think yeah.
It's funny they put a fence of trees around their house to cut the wind because it gets really, really windy.
Yeah.
So it's all planted, the trees over there. Yeah,
Huh.
just fields as far as you can see. It's beautiful though.
Hmm.
Shane, you sleeping?
No, I'm just listening.
Oh, good.
So what's everybody saying in the chat? There's Zoe. Come here, puppy. There she is. Zoe,
I don't know. I haven't
hi.
really been following it too closely.
There you go. They know. They're just like little kids, dogs, eh? They know when you get on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
like, hey, why are you getting all the attention
Exactly.
here? I
Yeah.
want some of this.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect setting,
Yeah.
though.
Mom, 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 mom. Mom, mom, mom. What? Nothing. Run away.
Yeah, these are awesome times we find ourselves in, and man, I am just so thankful for all you guys in the chat, and for, of course, for Josee and Michelle, and I'm excited.
Yeah.
Kev Barker,
It's
glad
been
you made
fun.
it in, man.
Me.
Awesome.
Can really feel the community more, and it's been so great.
Ruben, thanks
You
for
know,
being here.
just
Yes.
really feeling the energy from everybody when we all, tie in, and it's just so positive. It's awesome. And, even though
We
we're so
have
far
the
apart,
best chat.
yeah, we just have fun. And,
Oh, and I got a message from Biker Babe. She couldn't be here. She's visiting her parents, but she wants me to say hi to everybody.
she's awesome. Dig that chick.
Yes.
Dig that biker babe.
She's probably out on the
She's
Harley.
lovely.
She's like, I think I'm going to take the Harley for a ride today.
Yeah, too cool for school, that one.
Oh, you know what? You know how I had Dean, my grandson, on last night or yesterday?
Yeah, so cute.
Right at the end. I didn't notice this until I went and watched it back. I was like, oh, let me go watch it and stuff. Anyway, he was right when I picked him up to take him back out of here. He stood up, and I got a subscriber, and it put the little cartoon character on his belly. And that's why he started smiling. But I didn't notice that he looked down at his belly to see
that's
if
so
it was
cute.
really dancing on his belly. He like smiled a little bit, and then he looked down. Isn't that hilarious?
Yeah,
Oh
Zoe
my
wants
gosh.
one. Zoe wants one. She's like, I want a dancing thing on my belly.
Yeah, animals
what
are great.
happens.
That's why I like in the Law of One. You getting attacked?
What happens when you have a 1-year-old in the house? Everything's right? Hi,
Oh,
Zoe.
gosh. But
Hi,
yeah,
Zoe.
it's like they are like in the Law of One. It talks about how we whoops pulled the laptop up on the
Off
floor.
the plate.
All right.
No,
I guess
she'll
it's
come back.
back to the
There she
Josee
is.
show. Oh, there we go.
She hung up on me.
I was like, uh-oh, did she pull the
Get off the
iPad off
phone.
on the floor?
Oh, we switched again.
No.
Oh, you noticed?
Yeah, turn the cookie over. Flip goes Ariel. Zoe, I want an Oreo. Honestly, this is what happens. I
Yeah,
know, Zoe.
This is really live. Now you guys know we're not pulling your leg. This wasn't
Yeah.
pre-recorded last night, and we're just sitting back watching it with you.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, in the Law of One, how it talks about how you progress through the densities, and pets are like ready to go to the third density where we currently are, or 3D is.
Yeah, I heard that. That's a really neat idea. But then, you know what I wonder too, if for this moment in time and everything that we're going through, I'm wondering if there's actually some older souls, in our companions, like dogs and stuff now
Someone
too.
said that. Someone said
Yeah,
people
I feel like
didn't have
that.
enough human slots, so people are coming as dogs and everything just to get in on the action and see
You know
this
what
happening.
Yeah. You know what I feel like? I feel like they're my little battery packs
Yeah.
for holding all this energy sometimes. I'll notice like when I'm meditating or whatever, and it gets a lot, like they'll come in, beside me, and I just got this picture of like them being just little battery packs to help me hold the energy. I don't know, just a cute idea came to me. But so yeah, I think of them as my little battery packs now. Take them around with me.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, I know, like a lot of grandparents, they're empty nesters, as you say. It's like now they got pets, and they're just like family. They talk to them, and we were like, that's the dog lady. She talks to her dog. I'm like, why would you not talk to your dogs? It's so mean not to communicate with them, isn't it?
Somebody. I gotta talk to somebody.
No, but they act like, it's the dog lady. She talks to her animals and stuff. I
Yeah,
remember being
yeah.
young, and a pizza delivery guy's like, she talks to her animals. And it's like, why would you do that? I talked to my dog. I was a kid.
Yeah, I'm not talking to imaginary people right now. Give me a break.
Yeah.
Progress, okay?
And they respond. It's not they look at you like, what are you saying? They know exactly what you're saying. And you want to go outside,
totally.
they start dancing around. They know, you know.
Zoe, she's part husky and shepherd, right? She talks at me. This girl talks. She's like complete sentences. She tells me no, yes, you know. She yells at me. she does that. If I'm getting ready to go to work, she starts yelling at me. See? Where do you think you're going?
Like, stop talking about me.
Yeah, I know. She understands it. She has those people eyes, you know?
Yeah.
Dad, is that you?
I just caught your joke a little bit late, sorry.
It happens. It happens. They hit you like waves. You're like, oh.
I remember my sister saying that once. She goes, doesn't she look like Dad? And I'm like, I guess. Like when he gets mad? I'm like, I guess. Why are you saying this? This was before he died, so that's even weird, you know? What do you think? He's hopping into the dog for a little bit or something? Do you ever see them at the same time? That's when they poop
on your bed.
Right. Are you thinking he's shape-shifting or something?
Yeah. When they chew your favorite pair of shoes.
Yeah.
That's that girl who bullied me in high school. She popped in and she chewed my favorite pair of shoes.
Oh, man. Yeah, or your remote. It's like, come on, why did you have to chew up the remote?
I know, the remote. I know.
But little did we know they were trying to get us to stop watching TV. Stop watching this thing. Can't you see the programming coming out of it?
Yeah. Yeah, pay attention to me. You chew that damn remote.
You know what's strange is that when I was growing up and we had the old tube-style TVs, dogs couldn't see the screen. It was just like lights to them.
Yeah.
But now with the new screens, they can see them. It's like they'll respond to animals on the screen and things like that, where they never did when I was growing up. It's like they needed high
loves
definition.
Game of Thrones. Archer loves Game of Thrones.
I understand now why my dog never watched TV.
Yeah.
I never had a flat screen TV.
Yeah. They don't watch
I still have
those.
the old tube TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, Archer watches TV all the time. Archer watches TV with me, and he's got favorite shows. He does. He loves Game of Thrones because I think there's like wolves and horses and stuff in it. So
that's amazing. I wonder what I know it's high definition, but it makes, I don't know if it's the flicker rate or what, but I've even seen.
It must be.
Somebody had a dog that was like actually over like scratching up their screen because it was.
Oh, he'll do that. He'll jump at. You have to put it up.
Right.
Because he'll like jump up on the screen, you know, when a gopher comes up or a dog, or, you know, anything. If a dog barks on the TV, he's like, "What?"
God forbid, don't go pet the screen. Make him jealous.
Oh yeah, so I have to move. Got Zoe for that. Oh my god, it's a constant battle. Archer walks up to her and is like, "You're adopted, Zoe. Mom adopted you. You're not a real kid."
Yeah, sometimes I wonder what dogs are all saying to each other. I mean, of course, it like barks to us, but you know.
Yeah, the plans they make. They do. They work in coercion.
Yeah, I think animals, though, they can keep your spirits higher and just bring joy into your life.
Sure.
You know?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, you know, you have a terrible day and you come home and they're always so happy to see you. So happy. So happy. Nobody else was happy to see me today, but they were.
Yeah. That's so,
you know?
That's so funny.
Yeah.
The comedian was talking about that. He goes, they're always happy to see you no matter how late you come in because, you know, of course your significant other isn't too happy when you
you never
stroll in
get,
at 3
where
a.m. Right.
Yeah.
Just like, great,
I was expecting my cookie 2 hours ago.
Right.
They can't wear watches.
Can you leave a couple of milk bones on the table next time? What's up with that?
Yeah.
So what's your favorite animal, Jose? Do you like cats or are you a dog person? I notice usually people...
I'm more of a dog person, but I like all animals. Mm-hmm. I really like my chipmunks around here. Like, I talk to them.
Yeah.
They all have the same name. They're all Chippy.
Chippy. They're all Chippy.
Chippy. They're all
Yeah,
Chippy.
they are. They're all
And
Chippy.
they found a way into my house, and
And do you
yeah.
leave stuff out for them? Little chipmunk treats?
well, they
Take,
find the bird seed a lot.
right.
So
They're so
yeah.
cute.
I know,
know.
but yeah, I really like chipmunks and birds, and we feed the birds back here.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of wildlife around here, so I like
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, some of those
The
animals
birds
you
are
don't
nice.
even have to leave food out. They'll just go and find their own. They'll help themselves, won't they?
Yeah.
Well, we throw compost outside, you know, like so we even had deers in the backyard this winter
Nice.
come for food, and rabbits and foxes, and you know, like it's even bear. Like a couple summers ago, there was a few bear sightings around here because there was not enough food in the woods.
Is
There was
there
not a lot of berries.
on the bears? Are they all tracked up there? Because I know in that movie I was just talking about, they stopped at like this wildlife park and they all had like collars around, like they marked them just to track them and make sure nobody's like, you know. I don't know. Is there any wild-looking
Well, I think
bears
they
that don't
do
have a
that.
collar?
I think they do that in national parks if
Oh,
they can
okay.
catch them.
There's no way they could
But-
track them all, though.
Right.
No,
There's a lot of
it's
bears up
wild.
northern
Kind of
Ontario.
ruined the wildness of it, though. I'm like, wait a minute, that's a wild
Yeah, they all
bear
got
with a collar?
collars, name tags.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm Joe.
I'm Joe the bear. We're
This here's Bob.
Smokey. Smokey doesn't have a collar. He's figured out how to avoid the.
Nobody's got a hat.
The renegade.
Smokey's gotten away with it because he hangs out with the park rangers with the hat on. They
Yeah.
have no idea he's a bear, right?
Yeah, got paid them off.
Oh yeah, that was the Mandela effect. It's not Smokey
He's
the
got
bear.
the Rangers in his pocket.
Right.
Who's starting the fire, Smokey?
Yeah, he's like, look, I'll do the commercials, and I don't
Yeah.
have to wear the collar. All right,
Yeah, I don't have to wear the collar.
that's the deal.
Just the hat.
No, I actually like the vest.
Does Smokey have a vest?
I don't know.
Smokey's got it all.
Yeah, really.
Oh, smoke time, Josee. Smoke time. There we go. Gotta have the coffee.
So, do you guys have any plans for this weekend?
What about you, Josee?
I want to sleep. I slept because I haven't been sleeping good, so and
Have you been a hard time going to sleep, or are you just like waking up or not sleeping deeply? Like, what is it?
oh, I can be laying in bed like for 2 or 3 hours, just like trying to fall asleep or not being quite asleep, or and it's there's a lot happening in my head. It's really busy, and but I have a hard time sharing my bed, sharing my bubble. So I sleep better when I'm alone.
Yeah.
But, you know, like I don't want to kick my boyfriend off the bed, so I stay up
Today.
until he gets up.
Yeah.
But,
I like having my my space in the bed too, for sure. So, I already got the 2 dogs, so it's not like I have a lot. But I do have the king size bed, so California king size.
Do you have a
So,
California
yeah,
king?
that's what I
All to myself. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
wow.
lovely.
That seems
I sleep
dangerous.
diagonal.
It seems
right.
that it seems dangerous because it seems like it's so much bed there that you could just get to rolling pretty good and just fly right off the end of that bed. Not realizing you're like dreaming you're in the middle, but
Like
you're on the
rolling down a
edge.
hill.
Right.
No, but it's good, Shane, because you actually need the phone to talk to the other person in bed. So, you know, like it's,
Walkie-talkies.
yeah.
You can both sleep in an X formation with your
Yeah.
completely.
That's my boyfriend's favorite thing to do.
With the dogs
Being in an
between, no
X.
problem. Yeah, I want
Oh,
one of
boy.
those. Unfortunately, I'd have to knock a wall out to fit it in my room.
Yeah, I had to get a big enough bedroom. Definitely did. Just enough to get the mattress in, so it's just like a giant
Right. Yeah, it's
room
like
with just a
all
mattress.
bed. Yeah.
It's all bed. That's how much I like sleep. My favorite hobby. Hey, Jose?
I think the living room is where I'd have to put
Not
it.
anymore.
No.
I was depressed for so long, sleeping 20 hours a day.
Mm.
It's like I'm done sleeping,
It's like you
but
paid into a
I still like a
401k
good
plan.
night's sleep.
Yeah, yeah.
What is that?
So like you paid into like a retirement plan for sleep, and now you're getting to reap the
Yeah.
benefits, not have to sleep as much now.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
So I wish
And
I
I've
could lay in
cried
bed like
so
that.
much too, I don't need to cry anymore.
Right.
Oh,
You filled up your
no,
jars.
Jose, you don't. You don't need to cry anymore.
Well, I do still, but
Well, if it's your
like,
party,
it doesn't last.
you can cry if you want.
Yes.
Yeah, but you're not alone in that party.
Yeah.
Oh, not anymore. I don't. I
No.
feel so good now. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
All the love and the compassion from everybody, and it's my heart is just exploding with love. It's just so amazing. So
Yeah.
I'm really thankful.
It's been great to have people to finally really be able to share very, unique experiences and them be willing to understand even if they haven't had that exact experience. They're still willing to say, oh, like, and take it in and not, judge or, I don't, yeah. And just
Man, I love the stories.
appreciate it.
I love the stories that people are like, yeah, I haven't really shared this with many people because people will think you're crazy. I'm like, no, tell me, I love these kinds of stories. These are the juicy ones. These are, I've heard all the other ones about, whatever, just regular old everyday stuff. But when people are telling me ghost stories or dream stories or prophetic stuff or anything that is, woo-woo to the normies, I love it.
Yeah, to the muggles.
Right, and they know that, it's a safe place to share it. They don't have to feel like nobody's going to think they're crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of a lot. Sorry, Josee.
What I really like is the fact that there's no need for introduction between us.
Yeah,
we
that's
can
true.
go straight to the core,
Yeah, you're right.
There's no need to share, like we don't care how old we are, where we live, or whatever, or what was our life before. We go straight to talking about our experience. You got a booger there.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
How do you know?
That's what.
How do you know when you can't see?
It's not a booger, it's a fence post.
Come here, I'll get it.
Yeah. Here,
I'm
Shane,
biased
here.
in defense. Oops.
Jose, you get one nostril, I'll get the other. Yeah.
Scooch a little bit closer there. Okay. But yeah, I totally, back to what you were saying, I totally agree. Yeah, it's like...
Remember, Shane, the first time we talked, it was straight, like straight into Mande1a Effect, and no need to introduce ourselves or anything,
Test the waters.
Yeah.
We could actually talk about whatever.
Yeah.
Right away, and it's like that with pretty much everyone.
Yeah.
But you know what the same thing is that, it's just so cool is that when people do that, and they think they have these just, such unique stories or experiences, and then when you get other people's like, I had that exact same thing. Wow,
it's comforting.
It's really, and that's really cool, and even though some of these stories are just so crazy and just to get the, and that's why I put myself out there. It's not, it's not easy. People are gonna tear you down. They're not, they know, they're gonna be like, oh, that's stupid, or she's crazy, or whatever they have to say, or, But
Yeah,
it's
but
it's worth
important
it.
not to care.
No,
Yeah,
because it's worth it
important
for
not
the
to care.
people
Yeah.
that are like, oh, you know, thank you. Like I had that happen. He just burnt down the fence. Just burned out the fence.
Wow.
Choke on your toe.
Sorry, the vapes, yo. I'm just playing.
Yeah. The vapes, yo.
But yeah, I'm totally with you on that.
Yeah, yeah. But you know, and we were talking about just too, what I wanted to bring up was the impatience. You know, the impatience we saw with people, with Allison, and you know, even when I did that video too, I noticed a couple people like they want to hear just what they want to hear. Like they just want to hear what they want to hear. So they're not even listening. You know, and you're kind of missing the point. And you know, I know the event's like really interesting, but so I think everybody's experience is going to be different. So don't, you know, that's why I didn't give too many details about like what exactly was happening with the event, because a lot of things were going on, and because there are a lot of different experiences that are going on. I think that we all have different experiences, and I experienced it in different ways. Like sometimes I experienced a tsunami, and sometimes I, you know, experienced, you know, like different stuff. But people are so like, get to the point. You know, I want to hear what I want to hear. Tell me your forecast of what you think is going to happen, and then I'll come back and tell you how wrong you are when it doesn't.
Yeah, but you even said that.
Give me a break.
I don't remember which conversation, on air or off air, but you said that you felt like some dreams showed things that you feel like could have been averted and stuff too. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
necessarily like it's going to happen, but it could have. It was the possibility was there. So.
Yeah, but yeah, and then too that I think it was just like that there is all these stuff going on. Like in the dream, you don't have as much as time stretch out, right? It's kind of consolidated. It's like consolidated in this image, in this dream. And there goes the vodka. So it's all these consolidated images in the dreams, but these things are still kind of going on, like I said, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's everybody's perception. You know, like when people have a quantum hypnosis session, or you know, when people have a dream, it's your perception of that dream. So to share it and have somebody else pin anything to it. You know, just take the information and take all the other different information, and you're going to come up with your own truth. So
and that's
don't
sort
be
of
so
where
impatient.
That's sort of where I was at with the whole thing with, you know, Nathan and the whole Pandora's thing. And I'm like, people, please don't get caught up on the Sam message if it doesn't resonate.
Oh, I know.
Just
and
pay
they get
attention
angry.
to just getting your own messages, because if that doesn't resonate with you, it still should resonate that we should be paying attention and in the moment and watching for the signs that are for you. Even if the Sam one doesn't feel right to you, you might be getting something, or you know, missing out on something because you're not paying attention, or something along those lines. So it's the main core is to be in the moment and look for the message you're supposed to be getting, you know.
You can't be in the moment if you're like totally, you know, forward thinking about what's gonna happen. Where are you going? The vodka kicked in already.
No, she wasn't being in the moment. She's thinking about the past and worrying about the future.
It's crazy. People are just, when is it gonna happen? Where, how? You know, like it's.
And what if it happens for me in a totally different way and timing that it happens for you? Well, then what? Then what are you gonna do?
Sit down and breathe. Whoa, Shane is gone.
Yeah. Just be happy that all
Vertigo.
these things are changing now. You know, it definitely feels like every day things are getting stronger and bigger. But I think this is giving us the opportunity to strengthen our community now. I think that's what I'm seeing. You know, we all got all this information and all this stuff, and then we feel so alone in it. And you know, there's definitely been like I went through an emotional breakdown a year ago, lost my marbles, you know, and then picking them all back up and putting you know, that process of putting them out. I see that a lot. I see a lot of people saying, wow, like I really cracked, and then had to pick that all back up again. And a lot of it we had to do on our own, you know, and then put all this together. And then now here we are, we have such an understanding for each other because we could feel that we've been through this experience and we're just kind of at the same place. And so now I feel like we're really tying in that grid and really locking in that energy grid. And it's all a process, you know? It's like that one legal piece after another. So
it's like last year. Yesterday was a year since I totally woke up to the Mandela effect happening. And I just realized that last night. I'm like, holy cow, it's been a year. And then my daughter looked at me and she goes, it's been a year since you became a conspiracy theorist. Just like, I'm like, give me this dirty look. I just laughed at her. She's just teasing me, but.
I know. You conspiracy theorist, you.
It was a bittersweet moment.
Evil.
But I miss those early days of like the WTF days where you were just like, what? Is this really happening?
You're like, what?
And they came on the hills of my dark night of the soul, I like to think of it as, because, gosh,
yeah, for sure.
Everything was so meaningless, and I was just like, oh, gosh. And
it was a struggle to breathe.
Yeah.
It was a struggle to take a breath. I couldn't focus on anything. I like to, what happened to me is like, I like to think of it, and it was like this. It was like if my, whole thought process was this jar, and all the thoughts are the marbles inside the jar. Literally the jar just went crack, and the marbles went everywhere. And then I had to go through this process of picking up each marble and looking at it and going, okay, does that still fit with me anymore? Like, where is this now? Is it even relevant anymore? Pitch it, or, and it literally was having to go through. I couldn't take all this information in all at once anymore. I had to go through everything one at a time. But then that's what allowed me sort of that detachment, that meditative detachment, where you see a situation play out and you're not instantly emotionally reacting. You're kind of going, okay, and seeing, well, normally I would have reacted like this. How do I want to react now? And that's what I've gone through for the last year. But I went to a shaman. I went to a shaman in March, like a year ago, because even though I was trying to get better after that happened, and I was doing all these things, medically, physically, but all this stuff, I still felt like there was something missing. I still felt like I had that on my back. And so I decided to get something different, a spiritual help. And I found a local shaman, and she did this 6 hours of energy work on me and putting Christ consciousness, through my chakras. And she was like, you could literally, she would blow air. You could see the white. I've never seen anything like the white blue light of Christ consciousness coming out of her mouth. And the room literally disappeared, and it was that's when I had my Kundalini awakening, for sure. So, and after that whole experience, it was just so wild. I woke up the next morning, I was a completely different person. Everything, all those worries and external worries were completely gone. It was like I finally understood that I was infinite, and that Jesus, was real and loved me, and that energy was there, and all of a sudden it was like nothing else mattered. I was okay, nothing else mattered. So I could just kind of go with the flow of everything and live in the moment and really just breathe everything in. It didn't matter if I even didn't have a roof over my head. That's how much love I felt at the time. It's hard to keep that going, for sure, but it changed me. Changed me. Yeah, another story to share.
Yeah, definitely. And I found it when I'm listening to your story about the marbles all scattering, and I feel like with my journey it was similar, but it was more of a process of like, because I was in religion really heavily, and it was like I'd come across a breadcrumb, I'm like, well, this doesn't seem like what they're teaching, and this doesn't. It was like slowly taking the marbles out of the jar rather than them sort of scattering everywhere at one time.
Yeah.
And then so it's like we all go through our same process in different ways, and I think it's going to be that way at the end too. Everyone's experience is going to be unique to them, but we're definitely on a journey, that's for sure.
I think it's part of why everybody, they say everybody's going to go crazy, kind of, because I think we did early. We kind of did early. We hit depression, we hit like all kinds of stuff that was almost too much. It stripped us raw.
It's that hero's
ship
journey,
despair.
though. When you look at the whole process, and you've got where you're with people, and then your
Yeah.
sidekicks leave you, and then you go into this death
Everything.
process, and then your
I lost.
resurrection, and then
I lost everything. Everything.
Yeah.
I lost everything. Everything. hmm And then when you lose everything, you realize you actually don't need anything.
And it's such a liberating thing.
Yeah.
You realize how much baggage you're carrying around that's not even your own. It's like you're pulling your book bag off and you're looking and you're like, why am I? Somebody told me to carry this. I'm not carrying this anymore. And you start pulling these logs out and you're like,
Yeah.
I'm done carrying all this crap. Why am I carrying all of this? It's not like they're going to come back and get it from me later. They don't need it,
Yeah.
And then you
Yeah.
realize that you can lighten your load so much. I have people say such fear-based stuff in comments, and I'm like, oh gosh, how can I encourage them to look? Because I know how long it took me to work through. I remember where I was and how long it's taken me to get from the point they're at, to where I am. And how can I say a comment with a few hundred words even that is going to even just convince? Because I know I can't do it for them.
No,
All I
you
can
can't.
do is convince them to look. That's really all you
Yeah.
can do is say, well, look a little bit better at this, at what these beliefs you're stuck in, because you don't have to believe that. You can let go of this fear, and you
Yeah.
just, but they have
Well,
to
for
do
sure.
it.
I
Stuff
said
like
that before.
2 years ago.
I said that before. Keep looking.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
keep looking,
Well, 2 years ago.
searching. You're almost there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I'm sorry, Josee. Like the stuff that I watch and follow and believe now, 2 years ago, I was like, I would have looked at it and like, woo woo, yeah. I was like, okay, that's a little much. That's a little out there. You're a little too far out there for me. And now, that's not the case. So it is
Now
a
people
progression.
are looking at you that way, right? You're like,
Yeah.
you're pretty far out there. There's a saying like that. It's like, if you're 1 step ahead, you're brilliant. If you're 2 steps ahead, you're a lunatic or something like
Yeah.
that. It's so funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to go up the rungs. There's no jumping over rungs, because it just, all you can tell people is encourage them to keep on searching out the truth, keep on striving, but they have to do it. It's their free will, their free choice to make the move.
But if they're too distracted by all the external stuff, then I think it makes it hard. That's why they want to keep us distracted, so we don't ask those questions. But if we're so busy on, all the things that we got to do outside, then you're not taking the time to ask those questions. So it's kind of hard to move forward.
That's why they want to keep us busy with the grind of work and paying bills and stuff, because then you can't look into the crap they're trying to pull over on us, and the spiritual life and your spiritual awakening. You're not working on that if you're too busy trying to figure out how you're going to keep your light bill paid, or whatever.
Yeah. Or even keep up with stuff you actually don't even need.
Right. Stuff that should be provided for. That's gosh, when you think of the hoarding that's been done, and people that's just sitting on, like, people rolling around in solid gold carriages and things like, I'm not going to say any names, but you know what I'm talking about. There's just so much waste. And then on the other hand, at the other extreme, you got people that's like wondering what they're going to eat for the day or the week, or or where they're going to stay, or if they're going to have shelter. And it's just like, so
You got to walk 6 hours for water every day.
Yeah. Their work is finding some water, and
it's just finding water.
And we have the technology that, no one should be suffering like
no one
that,
should be living like that, right?
So we're ready for a change, and we know it's going to happen. We know it can happen. I mean, even without going into some higher dimension, we have the ability to change this right now with what we have. It doesn't have to be like this. And that's why I think just at least consciously in your mind, think, you know what, I don't consent to this anymore. I don't have the money to go and fix this problem, but I don't consent to those that do have the money hoarding it and leaving others starving. I mean, I'm not one of the starving ones either, but you know what I'm saying.
How much you need. Yeah. I know. And it's often, and it's interesting, the, light workers being broke thing. It's like, is that on purpose? I wonder.
It is a blessing in disguise, I think, because, we'd get caught up with materialism and stuff if we were rich, I wanted to be rich when I was younger. Now I'm like, it's okay.
I've been
I
there,
got what I need.
Yeah. I've been there. just, I don't know, we're told that we're supposed to want to strive to have all this money.
Yeah.
That's the, you know.
And I thought about
So-
that movie, The Pursuit of Happiness, and I was like, oh, I love that movie, but it's pushing people in the wrong direction. Like, you know, he looks at the guy with the fancy sports car, and, you know, that's success, and
That's
know,
right.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, that movie is like programming the bad stuff. Like, you're going to be on the streets if you don't, you know.
Yeah, and do whatever you can, like all day, every day, for no matter how many hours, no matter how many phone calls you have to make. Well, you know, I went through that with sales.
The pursuit of
car
happiness.
Sales. And it's just, you know,
name.
and you think like that's what you're supposed to do, and it's just this constant, you know, pressure, go, and wow, it's a, you know, it's so when do you get to enjoy things,
Right.
and when is enough? Let me do this. There, Jose, go.
I didn't realize that you guys can see my own face. It's just
I can see you now.
it's blocked off on the camera for everybody else. So.
People are gonna miss your face then.
No.
He looks very cute today.
They can see me in the corner. Actually, later on, I'm going to have my logo on top of my face on the playback, probably. So, oh, actually, it's there right now. Hey, logo. I'm
We
just
want to see you.
It's all good. Yeah, it's actually, I didn't realize it's pegged at 100% now. So yeah, I've been like toggling it on and off to let my computer catch up. As long as I can have my two lovely guests on the screen, that works for me. So. Yeah, it's taxing, but I think it's coming through. I haven't seen any. There was some buffering early on, but it's been pretty good. So this is awesome.
Yeah.
Better than yesterday, anyway. Yesterday was buffering a lot.
Yeah, somebody said in the comments. I thought it was a good.
Sorry.
I'm just somebody said in the comments yesterday, how do you know it's not our love energy messing up the stream?
I've been thinking that.
Dude,
I think it's
totally
so much energy.
plausible, yeah, because
I noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because my iPad will start glitching out even, you know, and because I can feel the energy, you start getting the buzz, right? And then all of a sudden my iPad will start doing weird things. So
it's taxing.
I think so.
Right now too, because you're you know, it keeps degrading the picture the more it needs to pull resources or whatever, and yours is pixelated a few times. That's why sometimes we turn into reptilians and they're like, what's the deal? They just turned into a reptilian. Have you seen those videos? Like, dude, that's pixelation. But maybe, who knows?
Yeah.
But you haven't looked like a reptilian or nothing. I'm not saying that.
I know. I know, it's funny when I told the dream about, you know, coming out of the game and seeing the reptilian or whatever, and I saw this comment and they're like, oh, Michelle dreamed she was this reptilian child, and I'm like, no, no, that's not what I said. I was not a reptilian child.
Oh, it's so funny.
Running around playing a game. No.
It's comical sometimes to read the comments. You're like, wait a minute, how did they get that from that?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can kind of see why they thought that. No, that's not what I... Like, one time I said, I was talking about the Mandela effect, and I was like, I mean, when it first happened, I even considered maybe I died or something like that. And then people were like, what? If we died, then blah, blah. And it's like, I just said I considered it. I didn't say I think that's what it is. But it's like their brains shut off instantly at that point. And immediately thought I was saying that we all died. They're like, well, what about the people that really died? Where are they? And why aren't we with them?
Yeah.
Like,
what's going on?
Yeah.
The sky's falling.
So yeah, it's yeah, I just tend to I don't know. I don't like to be scripted, but at the same time, I don't, you know, want somebody to hear one thing and I mean something completely different. But it's going to happen, so I guess get used to it. You can fix it on the comment.
People will take information through their own filters, right?
Yeah.
We all have, you know, different filters. I think, you know, that's the nice thing. When we get to where we are now, we've removed a lot of those filters. So we're really open to hearing this stuff, and we're able to take in somebody else's experience, and it doesn't have to mean that that's our experience. Like, we're able to go, oh, you know, okay, and take maybe part of it or an aspect of it, and you can leave the rest, and it doesn't have to be so, you know, definitive of, well, you're right and you're wrong. There's more respect in seeing this, you know, wider view and wider perspective, you know, that everybody has, and we don't have to have it be filtered a certain way to us. So, you know, people, when they have these, like, you know, specific expectations of what they want to hear and how they want to hear it, it doesn't matter what you say.
Yeah, that's so
It's hard
true.
to get the message across. Yeah.
So have you had a time in your life, Jose, that you thought it was like your dark night of the soul, where everything just seemed meaningless?
Oh man, yeah. It was after I got well, yeah. Well, I've been depressed for like I had depression for over 20 years, so that was a long dark night of the soul. But I got another one after I woke up. Like I mentioned it before, I was really sick 4 years ago. I got double pneumonia. I just got the flu out of the blue. I'm never sick, hardly ever. You know, like I catch a little cold once in a while. I ended up 2 weeks in the hospital with double pneumonia, and I was so angry when I was in there. I was, oh my God.
What were you angry about?
There was the first 8 days I was in isolation. I was in really bad shape. Could have gone either way.
Yeah.
I never felt like I would die, but people around me did, you know, let's put it that way. And after the isolation, I got moved in a room with 3 other people. And there was that man across from me who was dying from cancer. He was like at the end of his life. And I could see people from different churches, different beliefs come to him. And like there was that one guy, it was almost like he was giving him a test, you know, like, and then, you know, like he was asking him questions about the resurrection and things like that. And I was so mad, and I answered the questions because I'm Catholic too, and it was, you know, like, but why would you give that man a test? You know, like
Who
it
are you
really
to be
sounded like
testing?
a test.
Yeah.
You know?
Who are you to be testing?
Yeah.
Well, you got to understand from
So
their point of view, it's like a lot of times Christians feel like, you know, there's this burning building. People are going to burn to death inside of there if they don't go in there and do something about it. I mean, that's their, you know, that's their point of view. So from thinking from their point of view, you can see why they feel the responsibility to, like, look, this guy's about to die. I need to make sure he knows the Lord before he dies. So that's where they're coming from. So, I mean, I totally get, I mean, I was a Christian my whole life, so I get the boldness in there. Even though, you know, I might not agree with how that plays out now, I do understand they are coming from a good place, even though from the outside it sure doesn't look like it. It looks like, look, this guy's in the time, you know, let him rest. And you're like, but this is the last time before, you know, he's either going to burn forever or go to paradise forever. So, you know what I mean?
No
so
way.
That's a lot of pressure.
yeah, that's a lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure.
And then they feel
You
like,
don't think he's
hey,
under enough pressure dying?
right, but they feel like this guy might go to hell forever if I don't step up and do something. I might be able to save this guy at the last minute or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, I totally get it, you know, noticing from the fence here.
But see,
but I understand what you're saying.
I had my computer across, you know, like it's, and he was asking, he wanted the Lord's Prayer written in other, like the Hail Mary and things like that. So he could read it because he couldn't remember everything. So that's what I did for him. I wrote the prayers in big bold letters so he wouldn't need his glasses. And I did that, and I gave them. They were so thankful. His family was there, and even one of his sisters made a video about me for her church, and it's on YouTube somewhere. Anyway, like I didn't feel like I was doing anything really, you know, but they were so thankful, and yeah, I think of them a lot.
Yeah. You're an angel that day.
3:33 here.
2:33 here. That's funny. I'm looking at the clock. It's 3:23. It's 2:33 on 3:23.
Oh, I got 333. I got 333.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I saw it first.
Yeah, you did.
guys are in the 333 time zone.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Awesome.
You're in Ottawa, Michelle?
I'm in Cambridge, Josee. So Southern
Oh.
Ontario. Southern Ontario.
Cambridge.
Cambridge, by Guelph, Kitchener-Waterloo.
Oh, my daughter's in Kitchener. Yeah.
So that's probably the thing I've noticed most is that, you know, when you're young, you feel like when there's some kind of conflict that the bad side knows they're the bad side and the good side knows they're the good side. But as you get older, you realize that every side thinks they're the good side. You know what I mean? Whether it's some kind of military sort of thing going on, or if it's a religious thing, you know, and that to me was a really mind-blowing thing to realize, like, wait, everybody thinks they're right, and then that really
So
made
who's
me
right?
take a step back, and it's like everyone's, and then you realize at some point you're like, wait a minute, everyone's right from their point of view. You know what I mean? And that's sort of why I'm on the fence now. I'm like, you know what? As soon as you get locked into a certain belief, you're not really opening yourself up to other ideas at all. And when I got to that point, I learned so much in such a short amount of time because I didn't need I didn't need the puzzle pieces to fit anymore. I could just sort of take things and set them on the shelf, and then I started finding that, oh, well, this puzzle piece fits here and here, and I would have never known that if I saw that it fit over here. I would have never tried it over here. You know.
That's right. You got to be prepared to, you know, let beliefs go and pick up something else, and then maybe next week go, you know, change it again, like, you know,
like what you were saying with the
ideologies
marbles.
and.
It's a lot of times it's not even your marble. It's you're carrying around someone else's marble.
Or my joke. Or my marble. Yeah.
No, I didn't lose my marbles. I lost everyone else's marbles.
Well, basically, when it comes to, again, it's just to be in the moment, to be open, you know. Like that's what I was saying yesterday. If your higher self or God or whoever is trying to send you messages, but you're always busy doing something else or looking for answers outside of yourself, you don't get them, you know? Like you have to stop to be able to see the synchronicities and to hear the messages, get the messages. You have to sit down and be, just be, you know. It's so hard for a lot of people to do that, but
it takes practice.
It does.
It does take a lot of practice. Like basically, I feel like that's what I've been practicing doing over the last year. Is doing that. Is, you know, is just sort of stopping and, you know, and taking a minute. You know, you find yourself reacting to something and just go, okay, where's that really coming from? What, you know, what is it I'm exactly reacting to? So that takes practice, because things can be so distracting, and stress can be so distracting, right? Everything wants to pull us back out. So you have to practice is keep going through the day, just kind of stopping, going, okay, so where am I right now?
Yeah.
Am I in here, or am I out there somewhere? And where should I be?
That's why when you see, like with the floods or with 9/11 or any kind of sort of big event where people need to band together and help each other, you don't see people going around and saying, what race are you? What religion are you? And before I help you out, that's why I like that so much. It's because people at those times set aside all of those things that are so insignificant at a time when people really need help, you know what I mean? And it's just another human at that point. And that's when the love comes out, the unconditional love of another human being comes out, and all that other stuff, you realize how unimportant it is. What color are your eyes? What color are your skin? You know, that seems so ridiculous at that time. You're like, oh, wait, you're not my religion. Let me go help somebody else. Or better yet, I better help you because my religion's going to go to heaven if they don't make it, so I better save you first. You know?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that's sometimes why these things happen, to show us that, you know, when shit hits the fan, and when that really at the end of the day, none of that other stuff really matters.
Yeah.
You know, everything can change like that in a second, and the only way that we can get through that is by, you know, banding together. And like you said, it doesn't matter where you're from or whatever it is. It's like you got hands, you got two hands, you know, to dig in, and everybody's just focused on doing that, you know, for the best interest, or to save somebody, or, you know, to save an animal, or it's amazing.
And it touches me that, like, I was watching this car get washed away, and people were running like it was their own family to try to catch up with this car and, you know, get the people out before it washed away. And they're all like putting stuff together to create this rope and save this person, a complete stranger. And it's like, I can't hardly watch that without crying, because it's like I see the true love of humanity at that point. And you know, it used to be exciting to watch, but now it really pulls on my heart, and it's like, this is what it should be like, you know, people treating people like it's their own loved one, like that's your mom in the car caught in there needing help out, or whatever. And it's just so touching.
And you know what, that actually happened here, I don't know if it was like a month ago or so. We just got this huge flood, and the Grand River just flooded, not, you know, not right by me, but not far from here at all. This poor woman was in like a car with her baby, 2 or 3 years old, and she lost the baby right out of her own hands. And yeah, can't imagine. And you know, when it's like, wow, you know, when something like that happens, you know, so close to where you are, and you know, like, you know, one big storm in the water, and boo, washes things away so quickly like that. And can't imagine for that poor woman.
And that's what I think about when you know, whenever you start worrying about a bill or something like that, you just think of like, look, all of my kids are healthy right now. I don't have one of them in the hospital. I start thinking about the things I can be thankful for, and it's amazing how a bill just seems so unimportant at that point, and you feel so thankful. You're like, look, I've got a roof above my head, I've got food to eat, and you start thinking about what you do have, and those other things just fall away, you know, just being thankful for what you have.
Yeah.
So. It's a whole optimistic thing, you know.
I used to, when I went through a really hard time back in 2008, was an extremely difficult year for me. And so what I started doing was journaling, and at night before I go to bed, I'd write down 5 things that I was grateful for that day. You know, whether it was a walk with the dog, or the meal that I ate, or, you know, something bigger than that, or whatever it was, 5 things that I was grateful for. And then I would write down 5 things I wanted to be grateful for in the future. And then, it, you know, if I really wanted to sort of expand on that and bring it closer, I'd write how that felt, you know, to have that thing now. And that's one of the books I told you where I could go through and just go like check, 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 check. And to look back at that from such a difficult time where I started, to be able to look back at this whole book that I wrote all these things, and to see, wow, you know, look at what I did get done. It did work. So gratitude takes you so far if you can stay with it every day.
Yeah, the attitude of gratitude, like they say. Yeah, because I don't know how many times I've had worries and stuff, and then something happens, and I'm like, man, I can't believe I was so worried about that at the time, you know, and then you're like, I should have been enjoying it, you know, like say your car breaks down right in the middle of, you know, everything else going on, and you're like, wow, things just got way worse. But if I had just realized how they could have gotten worse at that time, so even like, you know, losing a kid is awful, but, you know, things could still always be worse no matter what it is, you know what I mean? It could have been like, you know, maybe you lost 2 kids or something. I don't know. I don't want to focus on the bad stuff, but it could always be worse.
Reminds me of something happened to us a few years ago. It's actually, just before I got sick, we were driving to Winnipeg, and there's a stretch, a 200-kilometer stretch without gas station. And we missed the little sign before you get there telling you there's no gas station. And we ran out of gas in there. But Dan was really stressed. But, you know, like, I've learned not to stress about stuff anymore. It's just so we ran out of gas just by one of those roads. you know, there's a little cabin, a couple toilets, and there was a phone there. It was closed.
Oh,
The
like a
phone
rest
was
stop type
working.
area?
Yeah, yeah. So the phone was working. So, you know, like we didn't have a signal on our phone because it was in the middle of nowhere out in the bush. So we made it. You know, it was sunny. It was a beautiful day. We just waited a couple hours for someone to come to us, but you know,
It could have been
we
worse.
had fun.
There could
It
just,
all worked
It
out
could
in
have
the
been
end.
worse.
yeah, it could have been no
Yeah, and
phone
it all
there
worked
and
out.
a tornado warnings and storms coming.
Yeah.
I mean, think of it. It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah. Oh boy.
So we just enjoyed it, really. It was, you know, it was winter. It was about this time of year now, you know.
Yeah.
So there was still snow, but it was cool. Just make the best of it, you know. Just enjoy it.
Sometimes these things happen to slow us down so we can stop and smell the roses a little bit too.
Yeah.
I
There
think,
was
you
no
know,
roses there.
there's no roses there.
Smell the cactus.
Just a porta potty.
Not even.
Not even a porta potty.
Mm.
Just some bears with collars.
Yeah. Yeah. That's about it.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Stop and smell
And
the
nobody
pine
stopped
trees.
to help us.
Really? So people were driving
Yeah.
by you?
Yeah. Is that crazy?
Yeah, everybody's got somewhere to go. It's
Yeah.
important. Oh.
Yeah, they could have laughed. You know what I mean? They could have laughed and pointed at you as they drove by. So it could have been worse.
See, there's always something worse.
They
Dangled
did,
it.
which is
Dangle the
They
gas
could be
can out
mooning
the
you as
window.
they drove by. Yeah.
Need some of this later.
Throwing a slushie at you.
Right. Pour a little bit on the ground so you can smell it.
Yeah. Oh boy.
But we were good because when we travel like that, big long distances, we always have a cooler with food, and we had something to drink, and we had blankets, and you know, like we were not in trouble. When you just go with the flow, I find it's easier than trying to fight your way out of the river. You know, like it's
Yeah, I can see why
Yeah.
Dan felt a little bit more. You know, he probably felt more responsible for it, so he had that extra weight of that too.
yeah,
You know, but I'm sure it helped that you were, you know,
of
in
course,
retrospect, you
yeah.
were being cool about it. Even at the time, you were probably like, "What the heck? You didn't see the sign."
Yeah.
I'm just playing.
Well, see, I've
How could you be so stupid?
I've been with Dan for 17 years, and this was not the first time we ran out of gas.
So you gave up on that a long time ago.
Yeah.
Par for the course at this
So,
point.
here we go again. You start carrying a little mini thing in your purse.
Yeah,
one
no.
liter of gas in your purse.
That wouldn't have got you
Oh,
very
sorry,
far.
you have gallons
I
there,
don't want to. I don't want to waste my energy on things like that. You know,
Yeah.
like it's. You get upset, you get frustrated, and then you don't feel good. And I just go, what the F, you
Yeah.
know, and
Fuel?
just
What the fuel is going
what
on?
the fuel.
Yeah, what the?
Okay, so hold on, I gotta ask you this.
And-
At the gas stations, when it says a price, that's per liter?
Yeah.
Oh, no wonder. I thought the money
what
was
is-
just way different there, but
Yeah. How many liters is it in a
the
gallon,
money's
Jose?
about
Do you
the
know?
same.
Do you know how many liters are in a gallon?
4.
4. That's what I thought. 4. So that's why our gas seems so cheap to you, right?
and I thought your pumps were ultra fast. I'm like, man, this is really cranking the gas in there compared to yeah, 'cause like
Yeah,
3.78 liters.
Yes.
That's technology.
So that's more like a quart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's more of like a quart. A quart is there's 4 of them in a gallon, and liters there's 3.78 liters to a gallon. So it's actually a liter is a little bit less than a quart.
Yeah. So there's about 4 liters, I think.
So
in
you don't have a
gallon,
quart
right?
of oil you put in the car, or you put a liter of oil?
No.
We're Canadian.
Huh?
We're
Well,
a
we
liter.
used to have the same you guys had. They changed it when I was
Yeah.
a kid.
Do you remember when we had the milk jugs? Weren't they like quarts of
Yeah.
milk? Weren't the jugs were like you get a max milk? They were quarts of milk.
Wow.
They don't have those big jugs anymore. So yeah, I think we used to do the quart.
I still cook with the old, with the, well, what it is for us, the old system. We still use the cups and...
Yeah. Cooking's different.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I never used metric with cooking.
So no feet or inches? You guys are all metric, right? Millimeters and...
Yeah,
centimeters.
but I still talk feet and inches. Because that's what I learned in school.
Oh,
it's harder to, as an adult, switch, you know?
Yeah.
But I did switch some, but I keep, like the temperature, I went to Celsius. It used to be Fahrenheit, but now I know what 80 Fahrenheit is.
Because that's 86 is the perfect temperature for the pool. That's what I know. That's the only Fahrenheit I understand is the appropriate temperature that I want the pool to be at.
See, and I guess comfortable for me is 70 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 21 Celsius. So that's why I know 21, because I'm like, all right, I got to know that perfect temperature. 21. And then freezing, of course, is 0, which is 32 Fahrenheit. So, and isn't boiling 100 degrees?
Yeah.
Right, because that's like, I think, 195 or 200 degrees Fahrenheit or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Are you looking it up, Jose?
Oh, actually, thanks, Bob. He's putting it all on here. 1 quart
Bob.
U.S. equals 0.9 liters.
Is Bob metric or imperial?
So he passed the test for sure. Nowadays, kids are pulling out their smartphone and cheating. Like, what the hell is a quart here?
It's about that much.
Yeah.
About that much. So you guys don't have gallons of milk?
6 inches. 6 inches.
You guys got 4-liter jugs of milk, or what? Is that how it is? A 4-liter jug?
But our milk is in bags here.
Bags?
Bags. Plastic bags.
Milk?
Yeah.
Do you have to put it in a milk dispenser?
Yeah.
Okay, so like at the ice cream place, we got those. Yeah, they make a shake at Brahms. Because when I worked there, we'd get these bags. You turn them upside down and put the little thing in the I don't know, little spout, and then when you stick your cup under there.
No, we just have a little jug. Little jug. We put the bag in, and then you cut the corner, snip the corner.
Snip the corner.
Oh my gosh! No wonder you guys are so skilled with crafts. There, you gotta.
My mom reuses those. Yeah. My mom like rinses the bags out and everything, and then reuses them to freeze things. You know, she chops all her apples and stuff, and she reuses the bags to freeze stuff.
That is so wild. It's amazing how things can be so different. You know.
Yeah, we even have little magnets here you can get that have the little cutter thing just for your milk bag. Where you can go. Have you seen those, Josee? Where you just and you put it back in the fridge, little magnet.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, crazy.
No, I'm saying, you guys seem so normal, but you're from a different world. Mind blown.
We don't even talk about dreams, just milk bags. Boom.
So, gosh, if it's bags, they don't put missing children in it. You're like, no, children don't go missing up here in Canada.
Children don't go missing in Canada. We put collars on them too.
You guys got it all figured out. I'm moving to Canada. Well, it's just cold.
We have a lot of time on our hands, okay?
Winters are long.
Winters are long.
Oh,
a lot of space.
Oh, wow. So it's like a bag of ice cream in the wintertime, huh? You leave it out in the porch. You're like,
bag of ice cream? You don't have ice cream in bags.
Well, I just meant your milk if you leave it in the car.
Oh, okay.
Like here, it spoils, you know? It's like, oh, you spoiled the milk. There, it's like, oh, we got ice cream. Let's cut the bag open.
More like a milk slushy, though.
Yeah. Yeah, you remember those? My mom does that. She buys extra milk when it's on sale and freezes it. My mom does a lot of freezing.
Add some sugar and a little vanilla in there, and bam, you're set.
I'm not going to tell her to watch this video.
That's awesome. Well, gosh, it's already been an hour and a half, and
oh my gosh,
cheeks are hurting. I love that. I love when I'm smiling and laughing so much my cheeks are hurting.
Look, you got another chipmunk, Jose. His cheeks are hurting. That means you're a chipmunk for sure.
Wow, you're actually squeezing my cheeks with your jokes. You got me. They're sore. Both sides, dude.
Both sides. That's for your interior giggle. Makes your cheeks sore.
Get in the middle. We'll give you a kiss on your cheeks on each side.
Don't be jealous, wifey. It's just friendly.
It's an etheric cookie.
Yeah. It's
not physical.
Right.
And it's not even. It's really unconditional love. It has nothing to do with sexuality or anything. You know,
no,
like
it's just
really
pure love.
Yeah,
it's nice when you can even. That's what it feels like now. Like there's no real. Like it doesn't matter the male-female thing even, you know, on the chat and stuff. Like it doesn't. You're just like you can feel that, you know, the wavelength's still there. So.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't matter if you're a boy or girl, you're 10 or you're 50 or, you know.
It's all in the heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like someone
or if
said,
you're a dog.
someone said a soul is a soul. That's right.
Soul's a soul. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, we definitely got to do this again, and it was a lot of fun.
I'll let Jose talk more. I'm sorry, Jose.
She's a listener.
A little bit. I'm a little bit, and I'm a little bit of a blabbermouth. I told you. What was the first thing I said to you in the first email I sent you? Okay, I can talk.
I talked over a few times. She goes, "This is probably going to happen quite a bit." So.
A lot. I talk over you. You talk over me.
See?
But it's okay. I can still hear you.
Watching you talk.
I did this. I did this on purpose because Jose she felt like I do it to her all the time. So I'm like, I'll show you. I'm just.
Yeah.
You think I do it a lot? I'm gonna get Michelle on here.
I'm like, I can't. So that's what somebody said. She just really needs to dominate that conversation. Somebody needs to tell her to shut up.
Oh, in a comment or a chat? Or
I can do that.
Tell me. You tell me. How dare you?
I told Shane twice.
What's that, hon?
I told Shane twice to shut up.
Oh, okay. So it was you.
Oh, you got alternate screen names you use, huh?
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to get her with my alternate name.
Oh, here we go. When we start snorting, start getting the snort laugh.
I told him to shut up on live.
Yeah,
Why?
it was live. No, but yeah, she was saying
live.
that it was you that left the comment. She was making a joke.
Oh, no.
No, but yeah, it's funny. Yeah, she said that to me. I'm like, you got to get used to it because we're still in 3D and there's still a-holes here. So
yeah, and, you know,
Unfortunately.
I didn't think it. I didn't, you know, because I was expecting it, right? I was expecting it. People, you know, are gonna say something they just dying to, but it still kind of punched me a little bit, and I was like, oh. You know, but then I talked to Angela, and I talked to you, and that's all I need. You just need somebody to just kind of hear you for a second, to just be able to say to somebody, hey, this happened, and it didn't feel very good.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of laugh about it and move on, right?
It's good
and
practice.
Then it's out.
When I felt triggered, I'm like, they got me. They got me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's deal with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They shouldn't have been able to get me. Somebody shouldn't have been able to write something that changed how I felt. You know what I mean? And that just
change your mood like that.
Whole I am thing. You know, are you really in control if someone else can ruin your day for you? I mean, because you allow it to happen. That's sort of back to that whole thing about being upset or angry or any of that. If you are, then you've allowed it to happen. Somebody shouldn't have that kind of power over you. You know.
That's it, exactly.
So when I feel triggered like that, I'm like, okay, I need to deal with that because that's
exactly. Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. Just exactly what I was saying. Like when I got that detachment from things over the last year, that it was exactly it. So there was like this pause in between a reaction and sort of this detachment from seeing it. So, you know, even still last night, but I mean, you still feel it, but you
Yeah.
can choose how you're going to deal with it.
Right.
But you know, you still do feel it a bit. But
Like Allison Coe was
you
saying
know.
too, you know, it says a lot more about the person than it does about you.
That's
You know,
right.
that-
That's what I said to you. I was like, you know, I needed to hear that at the perfect time because I heard that, you know, the day after, and that was great. I think I really needed to hear that too. Be right back. She can't even tell us. She can't even get a word in edgewise to say she'll be right back. She's just write it on the screen. Oh, I'm so bad.
Oh, it's all good though. I was actually going to wrap it up anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really fun having you on again, and
Yeah, it's fun.
and I guess
I think I'm gonna try to do a live one too. I think I'm just, you know what, I'm gonna use the channel I have right now. I'm not gonna bother with the Gmail. So I know I've got a few people subscribed to me. So yeah, if anybody wants to subscribe again, I think I'm gonna try to do a live chat today. So and see how it works and give that my first shot. If anybody wants to support me and join in and you know, ask me questions or anything, just say hi. It would be awesome. So I'm gonna give it a whirl today.
Okay. Well, you can actually, I think I took your link out, but you can place it before and I can pin it to the top.
Yeah.
Or are you in the chat right now?
Well, no, I'm not sure. I don't want to touch anything on the iPad.
Oh, okay, right. No, it's just it took
It's
me
like
a while to find it
precariously.
before. If you put it in, if you leave a comment with it in there, I'll add it to the description.
Yeah.
I just couldn't. It took me a while to find it, and then when you said you didn't want it on there, I deleted it. Now I'll have to go find it again, but it'd be easier.
Yeah, I know.
if you-
I do that. You know, I change my mind back and forth. I want it. I don't want it. I want it. Don't want it.
No, I totally get it.
It's my
But I don't want
prerogative as a
people to think
woman.
that. Wonder why you didn't have her address in there. It was.
Yeah, so that's it. You know, I figured, and it being on again today, you know, if anybody, so it's time, and I want to give it a try, see how I do.
And thank everybody, all the new subscribers that popped on, and
Oh, perfect timing, Josee. There she is. So we don't want to go before she has a chance to say bye. There we go. Oh,
she can't hear shit.
Hello.
So anyway, it was the
Hello.
funniest thing ever. Gosh, that was
I
the
know,
best
it's hilarious. It was such a good story. I can't believe you missed it, Josee. We're troublemakers.
She's like-
You're terrible.
She's like, I'm gonna go back and watch it.
Yeah, we did nothing.
Don't ruin the surprise.
I'm sorry, I can't. I never. You're gonna get me in trouble, okay? I can only support you on this so far.
Well, thank you guys in the chat. Oh, Unirock, what is up, my man? Always good to see the big boys come in here. He's always like, big boys.
Love
What are
those
you
big
talking
boys. Love those big boys.
about? Big channels. And
Oh, you're getting pretty big yourself.
Yeah,
nah,
it's popular.
it's the group. It's the chat group's getting big.
Yeah. No, you know what? You have a great way of talking with people. Don't underestimate yourself. So you're really enjoyable to listen to, and how you have conversations with people is really enjoyable. It makes you know what? It makes everybody feel like we're all sitting around the kitchen table with our coffee, having a chat, and I think that's what has really
It feels like
drawn
that.
people in.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It feels like
For
I can
sure.
totally
Yeah,
feel
so-
the love, and
Yeah.
it's hard to believe that I'm miles away from the closest person listening right now, because
Yeah.
it really
'Cause-
speaks to the whole distance isn't an issue thing, you know, and time and distance and all that, because I totally feel the love energy in the chat, and
Yeah.
that's why I love doing it, and I love having a place. I feel honored, like I said. It's like, I can't ever believe everybody's hanging out here.
I know.
Great
I know.
people. They're
I
awesome,
know. It's
you
awesome.
know? Because I
and-
never got that. I wasn't popular in school or anything, so I have no idea what this is even like. I'm like, is this even happening? Am I going to wake up back in my boring old life at some point and be like, gosh, that was such a great dream?
No, the boring life
I
is
was
done.
I was always invisible.
Yeah.
I was never popular in high school.
I hoped that I could be invisible. A lot of times it was,
I was
like,
very geeky.
yeah.
I'm
in grade
kinda
9?
like a fly on the wall.
Yeah.
I
Grade 9,
observed
somebody walked
people,
up to
I
me
see-
and said, "Are you a boy?" It wasn't always easy for me either.
Yeah, it's easier, I think, if you can be a fly on the wall, actually. So you actually had it good because I was noticed more than I wanted to be. And like you were just saying, I went into my sister's work when I was like 14 or whatever, and one of her coworker ladies was like, "Is this your little sister?"
Oh,
like,
so you got that too?
So yeah, I know how that
Scarred
feels
for life, right there.
I'm like, yeah, I still remember
Wait,
it.
was it the dress you were wearing?
And I was like looking around, like, what the heck?
Yeah, who were you talking to?
And got it on the phone. My son gets it. He goes, they thought I was a girl when he's like playing his games on chat and stuff. I'm like, don't worry about it. I answered the phone, and I remember, and I'm like, you've got a couple of years before they'll know that your voice starts.
Yeah.
Just part of growing up. Don't take it too seriously.
Yeah.
It's so funny, those things that, bother us so much, and you grow up and you realize how insignificant they were compared to how you viewed it,
Yeah.
Or how cruel kids can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of times they have a harder time dealing with it later, knowing how cruel they were, and now they got kids. And, well, some people never learn their lesson. You know what I mean? They teach their kids to be cruel too. So it just depends on the person, But we're not cruel. We're loving people, and we love each and every one of you all, and you're in a safe zone right here, right?
That's it. That's it. Now, anybody who's coming in here for immediate answers, okay? This is just about enjoying each other's company and talking about things we find in common and affirming things for people and providing a welcome environment for everybody, not giving you all the answers.
And if you want the answers,
find your own answers.
If you want the quick answer, love is always the answer. So there you go.
Yeah.
We should have started it with that. They're like, I watched this an hour and 45 minutes just to hear
And
the answer.
you said nothing. You learned nothing.
Love is the answer.
Love is the answer.
All right, let's start with that from now on.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good opening. If you're needing your quick answer, love is the quick answer. Now let's carry on with
the quick answer.
With the loving fellowship, as they were.
Yeah, don't rush the love. Don't rush the love. You're not in a hurry to get anywhere when you're doing it.
I just had a slew of jokes, but I'll leave them alone.
Okay. after we're off there.
No, I'm just doing the malgender a favor by not making any jokes about it. So, lots of love and light to each and every one of you guys out there, and we will definitely have to do this again.
Love you guys.
Not sure. We'll do this probably later tomorrow. I'm not sure what time or what's going to go on, but I do know the Aussie viewers are like probably like, dude, what the heck? You're doing it like while we're sleeping. So they're going to be in the future.
So maybe we have to do a later show for the other side of the world.
Exactly, yeah, because they'll be in the
one?
future. Yeah, they're in the future right now. It's like
maybe
Saturday
I'll do mine
morning.
later then. Yeah, I'll do for all the Aussies out there.
Josee's been doing the future one at 9.
Oh,
I forgot.
yeah, okay.
Are you going on tonight, Josee?
Well, I don't know if I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm just. It's just that I don't know what to say. It's ridiculous for people watching it after.
Just have
Don't
Michelle
worry
on
about
with
that. Don't worry about that. Don't worry.
I don't know how to do that.
But for everybody that's there in the chat, that's part. You're participating with that. So don't worry about the people the people after. It's for us right now, Josee. It's for your group and it's for the ones that love you, right? So they don't care about that. And somebody else doesn't have to watch it.
Yeah, you don't even have to save the video. You can just have it as a live only video.
Yeah, just be there because everybody loves to see you and they get excited. Oh, Josee's coming on.
Yeah.
Oh, Josee's coming on. Come on, guys, I'm in like another chat room.
But see, I was never popular, so I'm not used to that. I don't get it. I don't get it why people would want to come and talk to me. All I do is giggle.
Okay, everybody, a big hug for Josee right now, please. Everybody. Why would everybody want to? Obviously, people do, because how many people are on here right now?
Yeah.
Right? Obviously, they do. So, big hug to you, girl. Because you're amazing, because your love and your light shines right through the screen. That's why. That's why everybody wants to talk to you.
Definitely.
Because they feel your love.
And you provide a place for people to hang out at times.
A safe place.
Yeah.
To feel that love and to be accepted and everything else. So don't underestimate your importance to everybody.
Pat on the back.
Yeah. And big hugs, kisses.
Yeah, and you can get online soon, and the more that people have a place to go, the more that we're available at
That's
whatever
it.
time they need. You know what I mean?
Well, that's it. You know, we're, you know, you can pop on for half an hour or whatever, and so people maybe finish work then, and so we can give them a little more time to join in and chat. So, you know, hopefully it can at one point through their day tune into you know, want somebody from their community, even for a live chat, just to pop in and just sort of be able to join in. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I've actually been doing, instead of doing the live call-in shows, I've been contacting people. Somebody's asking if I'm still doing the live call-in shows. I've been just making it, because the calls were almost the full show anyway, I've been just talking to people in Messenger and then just having them on for a full show. That way it's not rushed. And so yeah, if you've got a story you want to share, or if you just want to comment, you can just send it to me in Messenger and I can comment on it. But if you have a story you want to share, send me a message and let me know, and we can talk through Messenger and go that way with it. So, or
if there's something like you want to see discussed, you know, in a group like this, you know, and getting different perspectives, is if there's anything, you know, that's, what do you guys think about this, or can we talk about this? That'd be a great thing to do, is, you know, send that into you as a suggestion, and you know, we can sort of throw that ball around and see what people think.
Then it gives you a voice.
I'm not too good with balls, though.
You what? You don't what?
I can't aim.
You can't. You're
I
like
can't aim.
Shane's. Yeah, he had to turn the camera off. He actually had to turn the camera. He's like, oh my god, I'm gonna explode right now.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna
I
turn
have never
beet red.
seen that shade of fuchsia. You are so red right now. Yeah. He's like, he's gonna blow up. I'm like, what did she say? She dropped
I'm
her
blending in
balls?
with your shirt now. Oh my gosh. Okay. Just the redness of the shirt.
Boy.
Okay, so with that note, we will end the broadcast, and I'll go laugh for like another hour. And I do appreciate each and every one of you guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a good one. Peace.
Soon. Yeah.